Welcome to the royalty, everyone. I am one of your hosts, Big D, aka Derek F.
And I'm your other host, the sick one, Chada from BB23. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not feeling well at all, but this is the royalty where we're here to break down all your favorite reality shows. So sit back, relax, grab a mug, and I hope you're feeling better than I am. Oh, also, we don't have Tiffany here because Tiffany is away doing Tiffany things. So we have my Taurus twin, one of my favorite people on this entire planet, an angel, the most thoughtful human being, the runner-up of BBCan 9, who should have won, in my humble opinion. We have Breydon White!
Hello. How are my little besties doing? Thank you for the introduction. Not the Why are you
Hi.
putting all this pressure on me? She
That
said,
is a
and
lot of
this,
pressure.
and the mastermind, and this, and a billionaire, and he solved world hunger, and the nicest person in the
Yes.
world. I'm like, oh,
You have
Yes,
a
and getting
lot
your
to live
ass
up
slapped
to.
and shaking that booty on TV and having the straight guys slap that ass. Yes, let them know. But it's okay. We
Who's
have a
really
trend.
winning?
We talked about this. The gays always have to come in second place. In our eyes, we won. That's how we look at it.
period.
Okay? It's a trend for us. But Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
Of
This is
course.
so great to have you here. We are so excited. This is just it just tickles me because I haven't seen you in so long and I
Oh.
live for everything you do.
I
Okay?
mean, vice versa.
Yes.
I think, I agree with Hannah that Big D is honestly one of the funniest people I've met in my entire life. Like, keeps me
Yes.
cackling. Cackling. So thank you so much, and I'm so excited to, be on the royal tea where I get to spill some tea, throw a little shade. Really live the
Not a
best
little
life.
shade,
Always.
throw the whole shade, throw the
Oh,
whole
The
palm
whole
tree.
he said
pot.
throw the whole tree.
The whole palm tree. Wait. Okay. Guys, today is Braden's birthday. So in the comments, well, okay, first of all, make sure you like and subscribe and watch this
Oh,
whole video. But also be
hell
sure to
yeah.
wish Braden a happy birthday in the comments. Braden, we love you. Thank you for being you
Well,
and
thank
happy
you.
birthday.
Happy
Thank you so
21st
much.
birthday.
Oh,
No, no,
thank
no. No one
you.
can be younger than me. No, 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 no. I
Hannah, you
claim that
old.
title.
Your birthday was this past weekend. You're old. We got it.
No,
Okay.
don't
Not your
say
old.
that. Don't
I
say,
told you that on FaceTime that you were old, girl. You're not a
don't
little
say
girl no
that.
more.
No, that is my
Unfortunately.
biggest nightmare. That's my biggest nightmare. Don't say I'm old. Don't say I'm old. Cause then I'm gonna be like, oh my god, okay, I haven't done enough. I gotta do more.
Girl,
It's
how do you think
okay.
I feel?
Right. Okay. So, Braden, of course, with having you here, BB Canada finale just happened. Obviously, I don't have to ask the question if you've been keeping up. I mean, I get it because I'm the same way. I'm a little bitch at time where I'm like, I don't really care. They're not gonna
Like,
get
I
what
didn't
I
watch
gave.
that, so it's
I didn't
fine.
watch it, but I get it. Have you been watching this season?
Yes, I have been watching. I have been very captivated and really intrigued by the gameplay this season. I know you guys have been
Mm.
talking about it. It's just very like highs and lows, and like you expect something to happen, and then that doesn't happen, and then something out of left field happens, and it's been a very interesting season to say the least. What do
For
you guys think?
sure. No, I think you hit it on the nose. I think the season has been very up and down, up and down. I think there have been a lot of moves that just didn't make sense to me as a viewer, and because we didn't have those live feeds, I
Period.
wonder how differently things went than they were portrayed. So, have you spoken to any of the BB Can house guests since the season wrapped? And if so, what have they said? Have they given you any tea, any gossip?
I unfortunately haven't been able to, connect with any of them yet and, provide the viewers with the tea that they really want. But best and believe I will get down to the bottom of it because there's just so
Okay.
many questions I have where I'm like,
Right.
but why did this happen? And like, we didn't even see this. I
Yeah.
really do wonder. I wonder how like the BB23 would have went without any live feeds. Like if people would have really saw Tip as like a mastermind or, just the way that people would
It
have
would have
viewed
been
him.
iconic. I would have been America's favorite player. It would have been great. It would. I hate those live feeds. It would have been fantastic. I
Oh
would
my
have been
gosh.
exactly what the house was saying. Big D was gonna win America's favorite player. Like I
That's what
thought.
Big D was
Like
saying.
no, that's what y'all said. Don't lie, Hannah. Don't you must that sickness must be getting to your brain of yours. Okay, so don't you start. All right, you must got COVID. Don't start.
No,
All right.
no, don't be throwing that out there. Not COVID.
But I agree. I agree that the live feeds do give a lot of content. But I mean, if we didn't have it, I just feel like I would have been likable better. That's it.
Okay, but we're not here to talk about BB23 or Big
Oh,
D.
we are
We're
not.
here to talk about BBCan 11. So I think my
Yeah.
biggest question is, who? My biggest question is why were Daniel and Anika so intent on working with Ty? Why was Kuzi so intent on working with Ty? Like, that would probably be my biggest question. I do recognize that he won the veto or the HOH every week, thereby guaranteeing himself safety. So maybe it was just a matter of, like, if we can't beat him, then we might as well join him. But from the edited episodes, it seemed as though a certain side of the house was keen on protecting him, and I don't understand why. Like, why didn't Daniel, Anika, Claudia, and Shania stick to their final four? That would probably be my biggest question.
No, I agree with you. I don't know if it really just came down to, like you said, them knowing that he could probably potentially like win most things moving forward, and so it was like better to join them than to go against him. I also don't know if maybe in their minds they all thought, well, Ty doesn't really have a good social game at all. So yes, he's winning comps. So if I can latch myself onto him and he can drag me to the end by winning these comps, and I can maybe pick up a few on the way, there's like no way I don't beat him in the end, you know? And I think
Yeah.
especially on the finale episode, everyone did kind of seem sad to see Anika there and Daniel. So
Okay, so Hannah, Breydon, Wednesday. What happened this week in BB Can leading us up to the final? I know we left off with them playing the HOH comp, which was like I feel like it was like a before and after or like number days. It was a number game. What happened on this day and things like that between Claudia, Ty, and Daniel C. Catch us up.
Bray?
I was like, do you want me to start? Do you want to start? But you know, we definitely saw the HOH comp, and I mean, we saw Ty win, and I mean, I heard that apparently the rest of them have been helping him with his days. So I'm not like shocked that now all of a sudden, like, not only is he winning like physical comps, now he's also winning like these mental comps. So I mean, it kind of just seems like at this point, personally, like that it's Ty's game to lose. Um, but yeah, so I mean, he wins the Final Four HOH, which I don't know how you guys feel, but do you feel like the Final Four HOH is kind of like the not like the most useless HOH, but like in terms of like yielding power, like you really don't have none. Like it really all does just come down to the veto. You're kind of basically like securing your spot for the next week.
It's definitely a pointless, not saying a pointless HOH. It's just kind of like, you know, it's not really much. But I mean, if you have a situation where you want to get rid of somebody that you feel like is going to beat you in a comp or something at the end, this is your one shot to do it. I will say that. Because I don't think you're going to get it at Final 3. You're going to get it at Final 4 to get it out. So that's just my choice. That's just my opinion, how I feel on that. You know, I just
And
think
then,
that it's also hard when you're playing a competition and people are like, let's work together on our days. Like, in reality, you should be like a bitch and be like, no. But it's like you're in this house, you've been living together.
Hindsight.
It's like, let's go over the days together to make sure we both got it, you know, which in reality, for future BB players, just make up different days and mess somebody up. Be that villain that I wish I could have done. So just keep that in mind.
oh
I
my
really
gosh.
wanted to like do that as well, but I just know that I would and then like mix myself up by like being like, oh no, like day 13 this happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm 100% sure. Like, I just know in my mind, I'd be like, wait, did it actually happen on day 13 or was that day 15? Hold on. So that,
Yeah.
I just gotta keep it a buck. I would just be like, listen, you go study your own little thing. I'm gonna go study my little thing. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love that.
So Ty wins the Final Four HOH. Everyone's shocked
Period.
because I guess Ty is supposed to be some buffoon who wasn't expected to win any of the mental comps. And lo and behold, as
Not
Big D
buffoon.
likes to say, he ended up winning a mental comp. So I think at that point people were like, ooh, we were banking on him losing these endgame comps, and he obviously is not losing these endgame, more mentally focused comps. So, yikes. But Ty decides to put Claudia on the block with Daniel C., leaving Anika off the block. And his reasoning for that was, well, if Anika's in jury, then maybe Anika will be like, well, Ty saved me from going home a couple
The
times.
block.
He used the veto on me, and he didn't put me up at first during his Final Four HOH reign. So he was just thinking like Anika is more likely to be an advocate for me in jury. And I guess that's smart, but again, noms don't matter this week at all. But did you guys catch when Claudia like asked to go up on the block? I didn't understand that.
I didn't really. I think I might have missed that. I didn't really. But yeah, I don't really see the point unless, like, maybe for her, and I mean, spoiler alert, like, maybe that's what, like, fueled, like, a fire under her butt is, like, knowing that she is on the block and that, if someone else does win, like, she's staying there and she's going home,
She
Yeah.
wanted to
you
be
know?
loyal to her man. She wanted to take. She wanted to be just take one for her man. Okay,
That
that's why she said,
man.
"Put me on the block. I'll do it for you. Put me on the block, babe. I'll do anything for you." That's what it was given. Okay.
Oh, seriously. So then we move on to the BBCan Awards. And, well, did we see anything like super shocking or entertaining or
Listen,
revolutionary?
I was kind of gagged that Anika was making out with Dan.
Oh, yeah, I was like, when did that happen? But they were playing
I,
Spin the
I was
Bottle.
like, also, I was like, now you playing spin the bottle in the bathroom. Like, y'all couldn't have taken it
True.
downstairs to the kitchen?
Right, that part. But that just
Well,
makes me wonder, like, how many, good or funny moments did we miss during this season because of the lack of live feeds?
period.
Like, that almost makes me sad for them because I don't know if you felt this way, Brayden, but I just didn't.
Hmm.
I don't know. I wasn't as connected to this cast and this season as I have been in seasons prior. And I don't think it had anything to do with the cast. Like, we had some characters this season. We had some charismatic,
Period.
unhinged people in that house, but because we didn't get the live feeds and we didn't have all that context, I just, I was very like, this season's good. It's unpredictable until it wasn't unpredictable anymore. So I feel like I should be more into it, but I just wasn't.
I agree. I don't know like what exactly it was because I think that there genuinely was like really good casting done. Like everyone seems very fiery, very interesting. Like they're all characters. But like you said, for whatever reason, I just found it so hard to like relate to any of them or like be so invested. Like I was with last season or even with like BB24. Like I was just so invested in these people and like learning about them and wanting to, maybe follow them on Instagram and stuff like that and just like
Yeah.
wanting to know more about their story. And for whatever reason, I don't know why this season I've just kind of had like these weird like not reservations but like this lack of like wanting to get to know them more. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe because we've had like such an introductory level to them, that it's kind of just like, oh, like I guess maybe that is like all there is to it and it's been like
Yeah.
months of like the same like level of getting to know them.
But the BBCan Awards finished out Tuesday's episode. Now we move on to Wednesday's episode. We had the veto. And what was the comp again? It was, very similar to your Final Four veto, Brayden, where like
Hmm.
you had to run. It was almost like an escape room. So you had to
It
run
was an
between
escape
different
room
rooms.
lover's dream.
Yes. I would have loved to compete in something like that. And to be honest, a lot of the comps this season I would have loved to have on our season.
Same.
Same.
They look so much fun.
Really fun.
They look
Um,
winnable. They look like
dude,
some of them are for everyone. Same thing with BB24. A lot of those comps look like it's for everyone, every shape and size. A
yeah.
lot of them.
Take notes.
The shade.
But they had to run between different rooms, collect the keys of house guests, and then they had to I guess match those keys to different clues. And then they had to buzz in and like leap off of this platform. I don't know if that's descriptive enough, but it was an escape room. They had to find some keys. They had to match the keys with
Very
the
bad.
clues, and that was that. So it was like a combination of a physical comp with like a skilled mental comp. It was very well rounded. So I think that's what Derek means when he
Yeah.
says that it was these comps have been winnable. They've been well rounded. They haven't just been physical.
No, I agree. I think that they have been, for the most part, very equitable amongst
Mm.
like majority of people. And I mean, as we've seen this season, I think 9 out of 12 HOHs have been women. So
Hmm.
I think that with that being said, like at all, like it kind of shows that it's been a more equitable distribution of competitions. The veto though, that's a different story. But HOH comps, they seem to be very
Yes.
spread out amongst everyone.
I love that word
Yes.
you said. It was very equitable. Very
Equitable?
equitable. Equitable.
No,
Equitable.
equitable. Big T, I've
Equitable.
said that word before. X said that word before.
Well, it didn't come out. No, it don't matter when it come out you and X's mouth because half of the shit y'all say it goes in one ear out the other. When it comes into somebody else, I actually pay attention. It's like
Big D said, "Hold
equitable,
on a minute,
right? I was like,
add that to
Equitable.
my vocabulary."
equitable,
No, not equitable. Equitable. Like equity.
equitable,
No, oh my god. Equitable. No.
Hold on, let me try to use my professional voice. Equitable.
Equitable. I feel like you're
Equitable.
casting spells in Harry Potter.
Oh, do you? Sidebar. My favorite Harry Potter line is. That is my favorite line ever in Harry Potter. I say it all the time. It
Wait,
is
what?
my.
I
So here's the thing. I never knew that sidebar. We're going so off topic, but I never knew that. I'm probably gonna say his name wrong. Vondable, whatever his name is. He
Voldemort,
he,
Dumbledore,
huh?
Dumbledore,
No, Vondable. What's his name?
Voldemort.
Wonderful, yeah. I never knew that he said abracadabra. So I always thought he was just yelling just random shit. So I used to be like, ooh, because that's what it sounds like. And then my friends are like, no, he's saying abracadabra. So then I started practicing. Like, I love it. It's my favorite thing ever. Okay.
I really thought you were gonna be like, "Oh, I love like, oh, it's Leviosa, not
Yeah.
Leviosa." Like
No,
that's what I
that
thought you
shit's
were gonna say, or
basic.
like,
No,
or
that's basic.
Expelliarmus, or Expecto Patronum, or like
No.
anything else. But you really said, "Oh
Yes. I like to go for the kill. And that kills you. Like, I live for it. It's everything.
well, considering
Someone
I
cast
died, so
someone cast Big D in the live action of Harry Potter.
Please, there's a new series coming out. They can hire me.
oh,
Big D shows up as
Okay.
Voldemort.
I'll be great. Trust me, okay? I will
the
walk in.
bald-headed
Look,
brigade.
I even
period.
got a nice robe on. I wouldn't wear black. I would wear like this orange, just dripping off my skin, and I would just be like, I
It's
would
giving
walk
I
in,
am
like,
Dragged out version
Batman.
of Voldemort.
I'll have my hand up like this. I'll look at them, and I'll be like, you peasant. Just out of nowhere.
It's giving I am Batman, and Claire saying, the Lego Batman? Yeah, I can see it.
That was the hardest. Listen, no one ever read me as hard than Claire. Claire
She
read
gagged
the
Yeah.
you.
shit out of. She
Claire
gagged me.
got you
I've
all
never
the
been.
way together.
Yeah, I
All the
have
way
never been.
together.
Usually, I'm like quick with it. I'm ready. I got to
Yeah.
come back. Claire's the only one in the house because I didn't really see her in that light. Where like when she said it, I was like, "Damn,
She
she
gathered it
gagged
together
you."
like a
Yeah,
ponytail.
Even I
She
was
she
was like
gagged
like,
me.
she snatched
oh.
you.
Look, like
I
she
was like,
said.
I couldn't recover. I would just self evict at that point if someone called me the Lego
Seriously,
Batman.
literally, she got me. I
She
gagged a
did.
bit
Wow.
for sure. Okay, so
That's
we
a
get
queen.
to who wins the veto competition.
Claudia,
So,
surprisingly, and
Oh,
I know that she had like led up to. I mean, her and Ty had obviously been talking, where she was like, "I'm gonna beat you in this comp." And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, if you want to secure yourself, I guess you're gonna have to beat me, eh?" And she
okay.
did. She said, "Eat my shorts."
the
Not
I'll
the
give her
good.
that.
Toronto months, you're gonna have to beat me, eh?
And I
I,
think not
that's
not the British
yeah,
accent. He said, "Ball game, yo."
ball
I
game,
think
baby.
is this the first veto he's lost in like 5 weeks or something?
Yeah, and I think he won 4 consecutive vetoes. So he didn't quite make it to 5, but he won 5 vetoes in total. Because remember, he won
Period.
the
The safety
sec.
comp.
Well, he won the safety comp, but he also won the veto that sent
Week
Roberto
one.
home. Oh wait, really?
Oh,
Was it week 2 or
yeah,
was it
because
week 1? It was week
I
1.
think it was week.
Yes, the
Yeah,
one
because
that
they
sent
backdoored
JM home.
JM, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But Claudia knew that her whole entire behind, her whole entire bootay, as Renee likes to say, was on the line because
Period.
if Daniel C won the veto, he would have saved Anika. If Anika won the veto, she would have saved Daniel C. So Claudia knew, like, I have to win this, and I can't let them two win this, otherwise I'm going home. And Ty has already proven that he's more than capable of telling you one thing and then going behind your
One
back and
thousand
doing
percent.
something else. Because Ty, the one thing that I have admired about him is he does exactly what is best for his game, or he does exactly what he
Mm-hmm.
feels is best for his game. He doesn't let his personal
Yeah.
relationships with other people get in the way and cloud, what'll get him a step further. He did that with sending Shania home. He did that with forcing Anika to put Daniel C on the block. That's something that is respectable, and I think time and time again, BB players have proven that it's a lot easier said than done once you're in that environment and,
Mm-hmm.
you grow to love the people around you. It does become very challenging to backstab them and put yourself first because you just, I don't know, you end up loving them so much and connecting with them and seeing them
Mm-hmm.
as human beings and not just other players. So, yes, I can understand why Claudia was like, no, it really is on me to win this because who knows what Ty's going to do. He's telling me one thing, but he could do
That
something
part.
totally different if he feels like his best bet of winning the game is sitting next to either Daniel C or Anika. And she did just that. She beat Ty by like 15 minutes. She won, and now it was ultimately in Claudia's hands to send one person out the door, either Daniel C or Anika. Do we feel like she made the right decision in sending Anika home?
Absolutely not.
I think so too.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I was honestly kind of shocked. I was very pro Daniel.
Mhm.
Obviously, I was hoping he was gonna take it all.
Me
Mhm.
too.
But I just think for Claudia in this moment, thinking about like I think I think a thing for some BB players, and I know that I've been there too, is that sometimes hard to bet on yourself and be like, okay, well, I just have to take myself there.
Mhm.
And I think in that moment, she was like, well, there's a slight chance that maybe Daniel takes me over Ty in the event that he wins either part one or part two
Mhm.
or part three of the final HOH. So I think she was kind of preparing for that. But I think she should have just been like, you know what? Overall, I probably have a higher chance of beating Anika in something because Daniel's been second in almost every comp that we've ever done, either right behind me or right above me, right under Ty. And so, like, my best bet at either winning part one or part two is probably getting rid of Daniel and taking Anika. And I think that she probably would have had better shot at winning against Anika versus sitting next to Daniel or Ty, in my mind at least.
Yeah, I think so too. A common trend trope this season that we've seen is everybody loves Daniel C. In my opinion, he played one of the best social games this season, where he wasn't looked at as a threat. He was charismatic. He was likable. He, like, even when he was put on the block, it was never in the capacity of, we have to send him home. He's such a social powerhouse in this game. It was always like, well, there are no other options left, so Daniel C., I'm sorry, but you have to go up. Although we're going to make sure that you don't go home. That's a testament to how, well he was working the house. And Anika, yes, she was part of the crown. Yes, Daniel C. was her number one. Yes, I'm sure she had strong relationships in that jury. But Anika, I think, played a more under the radar, behind the scenes game within the crown. So if I were Claudia, I would, again, it's hard to bet on yourself, especially, when you have someone like Ty who won 4 vetoes in a row, a safety comp, and 2 HOHs this season. But if I'm Claudia, I would rather have Anika as my insurance policy than Ty. And I mean, I'm not sure how many days passed in between that final 4 veto and the, like, part 2 of the HOH comp.
Oh, okay.
But maybe during that time, she could have gotten through to Anika. Although Anika wasn't the most, like, logical player. To me, Anika did seem like she acted on impulse, and, like, her emotions kind of guided her game, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
1000%.
And Anika was also very loyal to the crown, to the people she was working with. So maybe Claudia, knowing that about her, was like, there's just no way I can convince Anika to take me to the end if she were to win. Like, maybe Anika just feels indebted to Ty because Ty saved her so many times. So that's a lost cause. Daniel C. can at least be convinced, therefore I'm going to bring him. So I can understand why she got rid of Anika, but she ended up winning part 3 of the HOH, and if Anika had been there, she could have probably won the game. Like, Claudia could have probably won the game had she just chosen Anika. But sitting next to Daniel C., I feel like she would have lost. Sitting next to Ty, she would have lost. Because I think the other two, like, Daniel C. had a flashier social game than she did. Ty had a flashier competitive game than she did. Anika and Claudia, to me, are kind of neck and neck in terms of, like, how covert they were throughout the entire season. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. I think that she probably would have had a better shot at going against Anika 1000%. I think that the issue between Claudia and Ty is I think that they had very rocky relationships with people in the jury, like both of them equally. I think obviously Shania felt very slighted by Claudia. I know. I think a little bit Renee felt very slighted by Claudia and the fact that she wasn't able to convince Ty to, bring her to the end in that final 3 with Claudia. And I think that unfortunately, obviously Ty didn't have the best social relationships with so many people in that house, as we saw during like the jury roundtable. So I definitely agree that I think like going into it, I think that she might have been able to kind of push past the relationships in jury by, being able to explain her game next to Anika versus obviously like a Daniel or a Ty where I think the comp wins obviously just like trump her. And then I think like the social game and the fact that he was so likable do kind of trump her as well. And I think that Daniel probably has been planning being a super fan of like what he's going to say in his final speech because I'm not one to diss, but the final speeches were mid.
Yeah.
I was waiting to be jaw dropped. I don't know if we were just very blessed with,
Kevin.
the BB24 finale speech and Kevin, where both of them back to back, where it was like, okay, like these people know exactly what they want to say. They're going to articulate their game in a way that is going to appease to everyone in the jury and especially the audience back home. And so I think that we were very spoiled the last 2 seasons for sure. Where this season I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're making some points. I think that Claudia's probably biggest fumble, I think, is she didn't really own up to like really backstabbing people. It was just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, well, you know that relationships always have a expiry date, and unfortunately, like your expiry date came up, so I had to toss you to the side. You know, not kind of like, oh well, this is exactly why I had to do it, and this was my mindset, and this is how I navigated to getting here. It was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, yeah, I jumped ship, and then I won some stuff, and I'm here. So, vote for me.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, I just want to get into the finale episode so we can quickly recap that. So,
Mhm.
and then we'll, of course, touch on the final two speeches because I do want to dive into that just a bit more. So, we start the episode off with part one of the final HOH. They had to stack these like coins on top of each other and
Sponsored by
balance
Disney,
them.
also.
Yeah, come on, BBCan, getting that
Come
Disney
on, budget.
sponsorship. Miss Halle, I was expecting Halle Bailey to walk through the
I
door.
would have gagged. I'm like, oh,
Wait,
we
holding
got that.
Wendy's. Imagine with like fries.
Awesome.
Okay, so that was part one of the final HOH. Claudia won. I mean, there's not like too much to talk about there. So go Claudia. Then in part two, of course, it was some like it had a trivia element where you had to remember the days, the comps, the players, the jury members, etc. Ty ended up winning that against Daniel C. So now you have Claudia and Ty going head to head in the final three HOH. But before we get to the live final three, or sorry, before we get to the live part three of the final HOH, we of course had the jury roundtable where Anika walks in and Anika's heated about
Drama.
Ty. Does it? Anika brought it this season. Anika is fiery. She was hilarious to me.
Period.
Definitely, I don't want to say like an underrated player, but an underrated character. Like she was one of the most enjoyable people for me to watch. But she
Very
came in
intriguing.
hot and heavy. Yes, like right off the bat, she started coming for Kuzi. Like, Kuzi, how dare you tell Ty about the crown? She was like, Ty doesn't deserve to win. All he has is his comps, which, you know, she did bring up a good point. Like, to me, a winner has to be holistic. Like, a winner can't just
I
have
agree.
comp wins, can't just be strategic, can't just be social. Like, you have to have a combination of everything, in my opinion. So Anika, you know, just echoed that sentiment. Her and Santina were kind of going at it. Anika, no holds barred. But what did you think about the roundtable discussion where Kevin was moderating?
I think Kevin was living his best life as he
Yes.
always does. He really is just like a agent of chaos. Like any
Mm.
season he's on, their drama will ensue and he will just be there to pick up the pieces. So
Yes.
very fitting that he was there to host the jury roundtable.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I agree. Anika just came in flaming hot. Like she had things on her mind that she was dying to say. Like she said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, and another thing, Kuzi. Oh, and
Mm-hmm.
another thing. Oh, and you know, I can't believe you did this as well. And also that guy Ty." Absolutely not. He has nothing else but comp wins. He's literally a horrible player. Daniel has been fighting in this game. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
I mean,
honestly, again, I just I feel like those types of players and like that are very bold and outspoken are great for TV, but I think being in that house would drive me insane.
yes.
Just because I'd
Yeah.
be like, are we gonna really gonna beef again? Like this
Yeah.
is what we're doing? Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's brawl, you know?
Now let's brawl on Big
Call
Brother.
it out. Like
From Big Brother
I
to
think it's
Bad Girls
also
Club.
I think it's also because wasn't like 13 out of like 16 house guests water signs? So I'm like, yeah, no wonder
Ooh.
they're all I'm like, no wonder they're all crying, no wonder they're all
Mm.
fighting, like everyone's just very emotional. And I hate to be that girl, but I'm like, it adds up.
The math is mathing. I will say I would want someone like Anika going to bat for me in jury because Homegirl just
Period.
like let all the passion out. But it was funny when Kuzi was like, "Have you seen Big Brother? Like alliances, no alliance has ever lasted to the end completely intact." She was talking about BBCan. Obviously, we are the only exception. But anyway,
Period.
But Anika was like,
humble brag.
Anika was like, oh, because she had only seen one season, so she didn't know. I guess she just thought that alliances, always remained loyal to one another. But yeah, that's not the case, and Kuzi kind of shut her down with that one comment. But
And Santina was jumping in too and was like, girl, that's Big Brother. I had to agree with her. And she was like, I don't really care what you have to think, Santina.
Yeah.
And Santina was like, good, I'm happy you're here. I
the girls were going at it. That's why, like, I wish we could have had live feeds this season, because I think that would have made me more invested. Like, this cast was just
1000%.
dramatic, theatrical. Like, there was always something happening, always some conflict. It was not a kumbaya season at all. But because we only got 3 episodes per week, I just found it hard to, like, really get into it. But anyway, we had the round table. I'm sorry?
No, I said, and just like really, like latch on to the characters.
Yes, exactly. So at this round table, I'm kind of wondering, like, it does seem like the jury is kind of leaning towards giving Daniel C the win. I'm not really hearing anyone dispute why Daniel C doesn't deserve to win. You have people who are kind of iffy on how they feel about Ty. They respect his comp wins, but is that enough to garner him the win? Claudia has burned, a few bridges with the people that she used to be closest to, and it doesn't seem like that respect is there. People feel like she's, used Ty as a crutch to get her to the end, which is a common theme for young women in this game, and that's not necessarily Claudia's fault. That's just how this game and society work in general. Period. Exactly. But yeah, I was thinking, like, okay, Daniel C, if he's able to get taken to final 2, he might be able to pull this win out. But of course, we have the final part of the HOH. Claudia wins again, and she chooses to take Ty to the end, thereby honoring
That's her man, girl. My man. Anything for my man.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about her taking Ty?
Trash. Stupid.
Oh, not trash and stupid. I almost feel like she was damned if she did and damned if she didn't. I think she would have probably lost to Daniel C.
No matter what she was sitting next to. She was not winning against Daniel C. Yeah. She was not winning against Ty. So unfortunately, if she wasn't so focused on her man, she could have been, maybe got him out a little bit earlier when she had the opportunity to. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
because ain't no way you gonna put me on the block multiple times. You supposed to be my man, and unfortunately, you telling me you gonna put me on the block multiple times. I'm still gonna be loyal to you. Absolutely not.
The weirdest showmans in the world.
I think that's kind of where her mindset was at, and like you said, I think in her mind, bringing her showmans at the end and him not bringing her, I think she thought would be a little bit more impactful for the jury. But they just kind of seem to just really much dismiss it and be like, that's cool. Anyways.
They really
congratulations, Ty. Like,
they were like,
final 2.
They were like, that's nice. Anyway, Ty. Yeah, so
no, literally.
That was BBCan 11. I do want to give a special shout out to Vanessa, because did you catch that comment that Vanessa made? Hope, you were the most impactful on this season. And Hope was like, oh my god, thank you, thank you. And Vanessa was like, because without Hope, Zach wouldn't have self-evicted. I was like,
no,
so funny. So funny.
She clocked
Zach for no reason. And then also Jonathan won. Jonathan won Canada's favorite house guest. He was a sweetheart this season, though. So, like, well deserved.
He deserved it.
I agree.
He deserved more than just America's favorite player.
He wasn't America's favorite player. This is Canada.
Oh, Canada's favorite player.
Ty won 8-1, or was it?
Yes.
8-1.
8-1.
8-1. Oh, same as Taylor and Monty. So.
Very good.
Yeah, that was BBCan 11. Any last thoughts about it before we move on?
Shout out to Ty winning. Congratulations. Welcome to, I guess, the Winners Club. We don't know what that's like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know nothing about that.
But the Winner Club, all the winners are boring. It's always about everyone else. If you ever
it's always about the runner-up. Listen, you
You are a runner up.
Very entertaining.
In my eyes, you are a runner up.
A runner up to who, Tiffany? No, I will say with you two, definitely the more entertaining ones out of your final twos. So shout out to you guys. You guys would definitely win most entertaining house guest.
I love that.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, shout out to everyone. It was a very intriguing season. It kept people on their seats because we really never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I
until we did.
Like a very, yeah.
Until we were like, yeah, Ty's the front runner. But anyway, I'm sorry, continue.
No. I was going to say, like, overall, I think a decent season. Like, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was horrible.
No.
I think some people are a little dramatic when they're like, worst season ever. I'm like,
no, it's not.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed it. I'm going to tell you this. It was refreshing, and this is my last thought. It was refreshing to be able to get on social media and Twitter and not have things spoiled from me because of the fucking live and shit. Because it was nice to be able to watch it, and I feel like we were all on the same page. Yeah. So I'm just enjoying it before the chaos, before BB25, and then everyone's all over the place. So it was nice to feel organized. It was refreshing as a sense of mind for all. I think I'm talking about for myself, but I mean, it was nice just to be able to watch a show and enjoy it with talking to people on Twitter and the fans about it and stuff like that. So it was nice. Really nice. So,
but yeah, thank you guys for covering it as well. Thank you for being invested in Canadian television. We really appreciate it.
I love the Canadians.
The Canadians are so much better than the Americans. I'm mad at my parents for moving to America instead of moving to Canada. They're so rude for that. But BBCan 11 house guests, if you guys are watching, congratulations on your season and welcome to the Big Brother North American family. You guys should all be proud of yourselves.
That part.
All right, our favorite time of the episode. It is time for Survivor.
With Big D.
Okay. With Big D. So, Breydon, have you been watching Survivor? Do you know anything about it? You know, I know in Canada it's very difficult to survive in that type of lifestyle that you're in. You know, probably having a lot of wars and things that are happening. You know, maybe have like a bunker in case you need to survive.
You're right. I do.
How is
live
that?
in a very unstable country that could be fleeting into a war every day. Who knows?
Big D, that's America. That's the world we live in. Canada is. They're always just chilling.
We're stable. We're chilling.
Okay.
But I will be honest, I haven't been, like, keeping up, but I definitely, like, watch episodes here and there when I have time. And so far, like, it kind of seems to be kind of given a little bit. Like, I can't lie. Especially, I know a lot of people weren't very happy with the previous season, but this season seems to be there for the twists and tricks,
Let me tell you something.
And I know Big D has a lot of opinions on the host.
Now, to catch you up on Survivor, guys, okay? And just to kind of go over everything, let me pull out my handy-dandy notes, okay? So, Survivor. We start off, keep in mind that Franny just went home, okay? Am I right? Did Franny just go home? Mm-hmm. Okay. Lord Jesus, sorry. I was also drinking when I took these notes at the Survivor party, so we're going to pray for the best with these notes, okay? It might seem a little chaotic. But Carolyn is pissed. Carolyn comes back to the dirt. I call it the dirt, the camp, or whatever they want to call it. They come back to the dirt. Everyone's there. She is pissed at Carson and Jam Jam because they lied to Carolyn. You don't lie to Carolyn. Carolyn is that girl, okay? And you lied to your one teammate, okay? And the three Scrooges are supposed to stick together, and she did not like that, okay? Now, while they're having these conversations on the island, Franny just went out, so now we're left with Jamie and Lauren that are from the same tribe. Then you have Heidi and Danny that are from the same tribe that just lost
Hmm.
Franny from their tribe, and then you have the three Scrooges. So Lauren is now kind of assessing the situation and having conversations with the rest of the camp, letting them know that Carolyn and the three Scrooges, which is Jam Jam, Carson, and Carolyn, one of them have to go because now they're running the
Period. They have
dirt.
the majority.
They had majority, okay? Which they didn't think this was going to happen, but the three Scrooges played it right. They were very smart about this. Now, Jamie, Danny, Lauren thinks they need to break up the three Scrooges. Of course, we got to break them up. They have majority. Here we go. It is our favorite time. It is time for the competition. Okay? This competition is one of the favorites. It's all about drowning yourself on national fucking TV. Okay? Now, Jeff, for the first time, did y'all hear Jeff? Let me show you how Jeff showed up. Hey, guys. I said, why Jeff so quiet? He was so calm. He was so
Jeff heard
quiet. Yeah, Jeff probably thought someone can die right here in this competition. So let me talk in the most soft tone I can to not get no one all fired up. He said, hey guys, welcome. This is a water classic. You're going to be drowning yourselves. Okay? So, I don't know if you guys saw this comp, but this comp, there's a grid. Okay? And they have to put their body underneath this grid. Okay? And there's water coming up and down. And there's a tide. They're sitting in the tide. Okay? I don't know who thought in their right mind to come up with a challenge where someone could physically die. But this is Survivor. If you want to survive, you have to know how to breathe underneath water for a very long time to survive.
Not water.
Now, what's your thoughts on this? I'm setting the scene. You're here. Here's a gate. There's water up and down. What do you do? You tell me, what do you do in this moment?
I mean, I know that Miss Hannah Chada is not a fan of water, so I think she doesn't even hop in. She says, I'm gonna sit this one out, so you can already count me out. I wasn't gonna win it anyways. I'll watch from the side with Jeff. But for the rest of us that will be hopping in the water, I think that honestly, I think as much as it is physical, I think a huge part of it is psychological and like being mental and knowing that like, okay, you're not drowning, like it's okay, like there's just water splashing in your face. Yeah, the tide's gonna go up for a bit and you might have to hold your breath, but like just keeping calm, cool, and collected, I think is probably like the biggest advantage in a comp like this, especially with like having to be submerged in the water underneath a grate for who knows, because last season didn't it go for like hours?
Really?
I
Oh
think
my
last season it went
god.
for like 2 hours or something.
That's crazy. I didn't watch last
That
season.
Yeah, last season they went for a very, very long time. I don't know if it
Wow.
was, a lot. How long? I think it was for an hour. I can't remember. Please, in the
yeah, it was like
comments, and if
a
anyone
yeah.
remembers, just comment and let us know. But I know it was definitely longer than this time. Now, Jeff, even though he was calm, this motherfucker was talking. He's talking while people are
Yeah.
drowning. Let me tell you something. Jeff wants everything. He wants you to play the comp and talk. Now, this is a comp where you physically cannot be talking. And he's over here like, so Lauren, tell me your thoughts. Let me tell you something. I don't know if Big D showed up into Lauren's body, but she basically told Jeff to shut the fuck up. She said to Jeff, I'm really trying to concentrate. I can't really talk. Yes, Jeff, shut the fuck up. We don't need the commentary right now. Just say who's out and that's it. We don't need all the extra stuff added to it, okay? So I'm glad that she told him to shut the fuck up. Now, I think Jeff also caused her to lose because then when she got out, she looked at Jeff like, if you would have left me the hell alone, I'd have had to waste my breath to talk.
A little
You
death
want them
glare,
to.
like
Jeff basically wants you to breathe. Jeff wants you to be a fish. He wants you to breathe underneath water and blow bubbles and be able to talk the whole time. He wants you to be
bubbles.
He wants you to be Aquaman and Aquaman at this point. He wants you to be able to breathe on land and talk under the water at this point. I'm just like, girl, what the fuck, Jeff? Shut up. So, competition is going. People are dropping like flies. In this moment, I'm thinking, Oh my God, this is going to be a comp that like Danny's probably going to be good at. You know,
Period.
Heidi also. I'm thinking to myself, out of nowhere, our our king Jam Jam is in this
Mm-hmm.
competition, and he is breathing like no other. Okay, and he's doing a great job. Now they got these dramatic effects where everyone looks like a whale with like water coming out their little scout and shit like that. They're like constantly. I'm like, this is really dramatic. This is Survivor, okay? So then it comes down to Heidi, Danny, Jam Jam. Danny actually loses, and I was like, thank God, because I want him to go home. Then you have Heidi. Heidi ends up dropping, and Jam Jam won. And I have to show you guys this video. The crowd goes crazy. It was the best moment ever. Like, I started crying. Like, I felt that win, and I was so excited for him.
I'm
Okay.
crying.
How do you guys
Aw.
think you would have did? I mean, we know Hannah would have drowned, but Breydon, what would you have done? Would you have made it through this?
I think I definitely have a skewed mindset where I don't know why. Same with like BB and Survivor. I like see a comp and I'm like, oh, I'd eat at that. So in my mind, I think I would do well because I actually don't care about water being in my face. I actually really like swimming and stuff like that.
Mm.
I think just like the saltiness probably would have got to me if it like got in my eyes or anything like that or up your nose.
No, it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't,
But
girl. You would have been a okay.
me just stoic laying there. But I
Yes.
think I would have. I probably wouldn't have even answered Jeff. I would have been mute. Like I really would have been
Mm-hmm.
like
Thank
Wait,
you. I would have been
the
like
funniest,
up in the
the
water like this.
I can't talk. Like literally
wait, the funniest part of
like
the whole competition was when Jam Jam won, and Jeff was like, "Jam Jam, you won! Jam Jam, you won!" And Jam Jam was completely submerged in the water, so he couldn't hear Jeff, and he was just laying there for like 3 minutes, and then
I'm
Danny
gonna
had to like
say.
jump in the water and be like, "Jam Jam, you won!" That was so funny. But yeah, Jam Jam won. What happened next?
So Jam Jam won. Okay, we get back to the dirt. You know, it is time for us to try to figure out exactly who we're gonna get home. So the three Scrooges are like, we need to send home Danny. Okay. Now Jamie, Danny, Heidi, and who's the last person? Lauren are kind
Lauren.
of like, we have to get out one of the three Scrooges. Like they know they have to get them out. They got to figure out a way to get them out. So you know, everyone is over here like playing scramble. Now, Danny wants to get Carson out. They're all trying to get Carson out. They want to take out Tika. That's just what it is. Everybody else is
Makes
like
sense.
on the three Scrooges. They want to take out Danny, which is smart because Danny is really a physical threat like Franny. So in reality, if you take out Danny, I'm gonna be honest. Anybody can win these games once Danny's
Moving
out,
forward.
moving forward. So we really could be anyone's game.
Well, which is
So
interesting because Danny hasn't won a single individual immunity so far. So
no,
it's
he
funny that
hasn't, but
people
he's
are
been
like,
close.
yes, that's true, but he still hasn't won. So it's interesting that people are like, well, if we take Danny out, then our chances automatically improve when he still hasn't won anything. But I understand where they were coming from. Competitively, he can hold his own. And with less and less
Period.
people, it's almost like it's a matter of time before he starts pulling out these wins. So why don't
Exactly.
we
And
like
kind of more of
nip
like
this in the bud?
exactly navigating like more kind of out of fear and like the possibility versus like what's actually happening.
Yes. Oh, wait. Also, I think we forgot to bring up how Jam Jam was Soka and Ratu's original target, but then he ended up winning of individual immunity. So Danny, Heidi, Lauren, and Jamie then pivoted to Carson. But the issue is
Carson.
that Carson has really strong social connections with Lauren and Jamie. Remember, he ended up going to Ratu, like the island that Ratu was staying on because of that twist. So, had the target stayed on Jam Jam, maybe those four would have actually voted together to get him out. But because it
Makes
shifted
sense.
to Carson, since Jam Jam was no longer a possibility, that's when things get a little murky.
No, makes sense, yeah.
No, I agree. Everything you said, yeah, it definitely does. And I felt bad because Carson's playing a phenomenal game, and he could definitely win this game. So, like, when the target end up being on him, I'm like, no, I want the three Scrooges to be in the final. Like, I'm happy with all three of them. All three of them have been giving me what I need this whole entire season, and that is charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent that I've been looking for, and they've been giving
to see
it
you
to
next
me.
Tuesday.
Okay, so Carolyn comes up with a great idea during this moment. She tells Carson that she's going to use her immunity idol on him, okay? Which would cause whoever they place the other votes on or whoever they decide would go home. They just have to pray that Danny does not have an idol, which Danny does not have an idol. So this is great, okay? So we get to tribal. Jeff is doing what? Asking 1,000,001 questions. At this point, Jeff is asking so many questions, you would think he's the IRS or the tax man.
Yeah.
Okay? Trying to make sure you pay your taxes. He's asking so many questions. I don't even know if anyone else. Jeff should be doing politics at this point. He should be hosting the president's debates when the time comes because he has so many damn questions. He would just snitch on you by asking a question. He would just snitch on you right there and then. He asks the right questions that cause you to go, oh. So yeah, he's asking a lot of questions. You have a hidden video
you're trying to use tonight, don't you?
Yeah, right. You have it. Yeah. I heard you have something in your pocket that you're trying to hide from everybody. So what is it?
Okay, let's get to the vote.
Yes.
So I think that just about wraps it up. Oh wait, but Carolyn.
No, hold on. Yes, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So Carolyn, our queen, of course, because she don't play no game. Carolyn keeps it real. She's on her own island, and she don't give a fuck. And I love it. Danny and Carolyn, Jeff is asking a lot of questions. Of course, he's talking about, do you play with your emotions? Do you play with the game? Do you play with this? You know, which causes Danny to kind of answer a question, and then Carolyn's like, no, motherfucker. Let me tell you something. It's actually about this. And Carolyn clocks him. I also live for Carolyn rolling her eyes at the times and also calling people out on her bullshit. Because she don't really care. At this point, Carolyn's fed up. Y'all got rid of Franny. Y'all got rid of her girl. You think she gonna be calm? She about that life. She like, let me show you what I'm about. Okay? So, Carolyn is talking her shit. She don't give a fuck. That's exactly what I wrote down. Okay? Then I said,
what are these notes?
Use that idol. Listen.
I'm over here like, Carolyn navigating blah, 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 by backdooring blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, Carolyn talking her mess. She don't burn. I would like to see this notebook of yours.
Oh, it's getting drunker and drunker, okay? So, Carolyn, it's time for the vote after Jeff asking for your social security number and your birthday and your full
Do you remember when Jeff was like, Carolyn, maybe you should sleep more? Which, I get that it was a joke, but, like, it was just a little dismissive. And Carolyn was like...
Are you mad at me?
Yes. I lived for that. And, I'm glad that the world is waking up to how annoying Jeff Probst has been this season. But I thought it was interesting how Danny seemed to be so comfortable at this tribal. I mean, he kept saying, like, yeah, I'm comfortable. I know where my vote's going to go. I'm confident that the people I'm working with are going to vote with me. And maybe he just didn't want to seem like he was that paranoid. But I've realized that anytime in these games you start feeling comfortable, that is probably the best indication that you're about to be sent out the door. So,
period.
That to me was a red flag, and as a viewer, sort of set up his eviction.
Demise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. Yeah, once you're comfortable, like, I mean, depending on the game, once you're comfortable, then that's when it happens. You get the chop. So,
the axe, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely very interesting. So, it's time for the votes. Now, Carolyn, for the first time, I love production and their editing, and maybe people don't take this long, or maybe this is the first time in history. Carolyn's up there playing on her fingers, counting, trying to figure out where the votes are going to go. She's taking forever to the point that even Jeff was like, what's going on? Where everybody's like concerned. And I'm like, do y'all not know this is the Carolyn show? Y'all can all wait. She need to figure out what she's going to do. Mm-hmm. But all I'm thinking in my head is she needs to play that idol for Carson.
Period.
Okay, period. She don't care, but this is like Girl, don't mess it up. This is your moment. Okay? Have it. So, we get back to it's time, as Jeff magically says, as Breydon said earlier. I'll tally the votes. So, he tallies the votes. You know, we're a little bit worried at first. We're seeing, oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I jumped ahead. Carolyn plays that damn motherfucking idol, okay? And she should, okay? And she made sure to say it.
And the way they kind of gagged the jury a little bit, I thought that
gagged.
was going up.
Gagged the jury. Okay.
Yeah.
Gagged the jury. This episode was really refreshing not to see Matt every 5 seconds. So I was very happy to not have to deal with that. That was great. I love seeing everybody else and focusing on the game. I'm so glad we didn't have to deal with that. So, Jeff does his famous line. If anyone has an immunity idol, this is the time to play it now. Then right when he says one line, Carolyn goes, "Ha! I have one. I'm going to play this for Carson." They're all gagged. The votes start tallying. So at first you think it's going to be Heidi once again. Because Heidi is getting close with these votes. I don't know. They're trying to get Heidi out. I think Jamie and Lauren or whatever. But they're trying to get Heidi out some type of way. So it comes down to Danny. Now, as I wrote here, Danny walks his ass up there. And he wants to do Nero. What's his name?
Robert De Niro
impression.
Robert De Niro face or whatever the fuck his name is.
Robert De Niro.
And he want to get up there like, and Jeff's like trying to do a show, and he's over here.
Stuff the torch, Jeff.
Oh, this is I promised everyone at home that I was going to do this safe.
No,
this is the most. I have never had secondhand embarrassment in my life.
I was going to say it was the most awkward thing I don't think I've ever seen, like in reality television in a while, because Jeff really was just like,
and Jeff was like waiting. Jeff was like, maybe he'll do it for a second. No, he did it the whole time until it was time for him to walk out. I felt really embarrassed for him. I'll never forget it. If he was trying to make a moment for me, not for viewers never to forget, I'll never forget that shit. That was the time I wish Jeff was talking and told him, please stop fucking doing that. I'm trying to run a show here. Okay?
Wait. Okay, before we move on from Survivor, because that's pretty much the end of the episode, Carolyn technically didn't have to play that idol for Carson because Danny still ended up receiving the most votes. So I think the plan...
Did he?
Yeah, Danny received 3 votes, Carson received 2, Heidi received 2. So I think what happened was Tika and Ratu got together and they were like, well, if Danny has an idol, then we're going to throw 2 votes on Heidi. That way, it'll be tied between Carson and Heidi. Of course, not knowing that Carolyn was going to play for Carson. And then we'll just, break the tie and vote Heidi out. So I think that's why 2 votes went to Heidi, just in case Danny did have an immunity idol. But I was like, she played that idol and Carson wouldn't even have gone home. But I don't know why Lauren and Jamie decided to keep Carson around. That, to me, that's just not smart, but maybe
the relationship, maybe they were just like, no matter what, we just need to get out somebody on the green team. I don't know. Maybe they just felt that way. So it's just a week in that team, and then, I don't know. But like I said, you never know when it comes to this game, and that's what I think excites me the most is not knowing, know, and that's why I think...
I'm very unpredictable.
Yes, that's what I enjoy. That's why when there's no live feeds, it's nice to know that you could actually enjoy TV without knowing who's going home.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just looking at Danny as more of like a formidable comp threat. Also, Danny is one player who is typically at the helm, at the forefront of these votes. He's the one who throws out a target and then he tries to rally everyone around him. So they have kind of been playing Danny's game. Like, he's a very flashy player. If he does make it to the end, he could be like, yeah, I was the one who advocated for so-and-so to go home, and this person and that person, and everyone really trusted me and wanted to work with me. So maybe they were just, like, thinking about him in a Final 3 versus Carson in a Final 3. And then maybe, I mean, obviously viewers know how close the Tika 3 are. But maybe on the island, they've been doing a decent job of not seeming as close. I don't know. But if I were Lauren and
Okay.
Jamie, I would have probably gotten rid of one of the Tika 3 just to even out the numbers, and then Danny can be a problem the following week.
Later on.
Because now Tika
That's
does have the
fair.
majority. They have 50% of votes. And Lauren no longer has her extra vote. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Any last thoughts about Survivor and what you guys predict for next week?
As long as the three Scrooges are there, that's all that matters to me. To get into our next segment, everyone, the Challenge World Championship that is brought to you by global champions and MVP of the Challenge Argentina, the Challenge Australia, the Challenge UK, and the Challenge USA. They are come together to battle against each other to win the champion of the Challenge World Championship. Was that good for you, Hannah?
Period.
Yes, that was perfect.
Come on, announcer.
So, challenge, guys. Breydon, I know you guys don't have a challenge Canada. I wish you guys did. That would be iconic because the men there are so yummy to look at. So, have you been watching or maybe, following online? What's your thoughts so far?
Again, I'll be 100% honest. I haven't been keeping up that much with the Challenge World Championship. I was definitely up to date with like the Challenge USA last season. And I'm looking forward to, if there's a season 2 and stuff like that moving forward. But yeah, I haven't been actively watching the episodes of the Challenge World Championship, but I have been like seeing little things in here and there on Twitter that I, just read and go, interesting. That's what's going on over there in the challenge world.
Oh, this episode, just so you know, Breydon, this is episode 11, The Weight of the World. Give you a quick little recap. Cass is feeling like, we start with Cass feeling like, Jordan doesn't listen to her. Jordan is very competitive. I don't know why people are not understanding that Jordan is always going to do what Jordan wants to do. Jordan will do whatever he wants to do in the competition, in his love life, whatever. He is very competitive. He would do whatever he wants to do. And he earned those stripes to be as competitive he wants to. He's a challenge champion, okay? Cass doesn't understand that. I feel bad for her because this is like when you work with someone who's so competitive and someone who doesn't really think about everyone's feelings, it could definitely hurt and suck. So she doesn't have a voice, so she's just getting dragged along. Now, we also cut to Sarah talking to her husband. I want to say FYI, I like Sarah, her husband, snack. Okay, sidebar, snack. I woke up, because I usually sleep during the episode, but I was full awake when he popped up on my screen. Okay, so
that is such a sidebar.
Yes, hopefully we can get him into the challenge. The challenge that they're doing, that they go into the competition, it is called Downfall. Okay, basically this is another swimming challenge. So hopefully Emily and Yes can actually win this challenge, because if they don't win this, their backs are a little bit against the wall, because we still have that dynamic of Tori and Casey and Jordan going against people on their team, literally Danny and Sarah and Emily, okay? So we still have that dynamic, okay? Now, keep in mind, before we went into this challenge, which I guess we kind of found out, Jordan made a deal with Yes and Emily, which Tori did not know about, because she's what? Captain Save-A-Ho. She doesn't pay attention to everything. She's trying to put her life on the line for everybody else. Wow, Jordan made a decision without you. Ain't that your man? You should know everything about him. I'm confused. So, Emily and Yes have to make sure that Casey and Troy go down first before anything, so they can go into the elimination. So, of course, Emily's a swimmer. She gets there first. She pulls their flag or whatever. They had to climb up this ladder. She pulls their flag. They drop. Then somebody else pulls theirs. It's basically a process of elimination.
Gotcha.
Towards the end, it comes down to Jordan and Cass, and then we have Theo and Sarah, and Jordan starts helping Theo and Sarah to win because of a deal they made,
because of a deal they made with Emily and Yes. Because remember, they promised Emily and Yes they wouldn't win the challenge. so
That
they
is
couldn't
correct.
win
That
the
is
challenge.
correct.
People always
Yes,
honor
that is
deals
correct.
on the challenge, and I don't understand why. Like, deals are meant to be broken. That's just how I feel.
That is true. I never understand the deals they were making. So Theo and Sarah wins. Even TJ's kind of bored at this point. He's like, this is bullshit. I don't know what the hell this shit is going on. He looks over it too, okay? Yes is trying to do damage control by talking to Troy. Trying to sit there and like I guess mend their relationship. Troy don't give a fuck at this point. Okay. So once again we go into it's time to vote. Guess what they do? What did they do again? A stalemate because they're boring. This is such a boring show. They don't want to play the game. They just want to get their easy checks to get paid.
Kaz and Jordan, okay, because keep in mind, guys, Casey and Troy lost. They were the first people eliminated from the daily. So Casey and Troy are going to be in elimination. Now we're in deliberation, right? There are 3 teams. It's Tori and Danny, Yes and Emily, and Kaz and Jordan. Kaz and Jordan go first, and they nominate themselves because everyone agrees to stalemate the vote and leave the decision to Sarah and Theo. If Kaz and Jordan go first and they vote for themselves, what am I going to do? I'm going to vote for them as Emily and Yes.
Period.
That way, you send in Kaz and Jordan versus Casey and Troy, and you eliminate a really strong team before the final. But once again, everyone sticks to their deals. Everyone keeps their word. It's giving tired. So I don't know why they stalemated it. I truly do not know why. The dumbest decision they could have made. Like, don't you want to win? Don't you want to win the money? What?
This is called Challenge to Friendship.
Well, also with
Disney Plus. It's
with
all
Yes and
about
Emily,
friendship and love.
But even still, with Yes and Emily, they're not friends with Tori or Jordan or any of those people. They don't owe those people anything. So why not, when you know your back is up against the wall, why not do what is best for your game? You're 1 week out from the final. And also, leaving the decision up to Sarah and Theo, Theo's not going to, his one non-negotiable team is probably going to be Kaz and Jordan because him and Kaz are exes. Sarah's one non-negotiable team is probably going to be Danny and Tori because she came into this game with Danny. So if you leave the decision up to Sarah and Theo, yes, Emily, I get that you're close to Sarah, but you just met her a couple weeks ago, and she's probably going to throw you in against Casey and Troy. Period. Why not send Kaz and Jordan in there? So anyway, they stalemate the vote. Now we're at the elimination.
Yeah, I do give Sarah, I felt bad for Emily in this moment because Emily was crying in the bathroom because Sarah did tell her there's a possibility I'm going to have to throw you in there because of Sarah knows, like, if you get rid of your day one or somebody you know, like, the one thing I like about Sarah, she knows who her number one is. When you go into these competition shows, yes, you do need to have at least one number one person. Everyone else, you could sit there and make those relationships, but at some point when it comes down to decision, you're going to have to cut those people. So I appreciate Sarah sticking to her word and not sending Danny down because I think that would have riffled the friendship outside the game because that's a friendship that's been built over years of being on Survivor together and in that family. So I felt bad for Emily. Okay. Now, the best part of the whole entire show, of course, we get to elimination. TJ once again goes, I told you guys about doing that fucking stalemate because y'all all fucking weak and y'all need to learn how to play the fucking game and actually play this competition. He tells everyone that in that moment, okay? That's what I heard. And he tells them, okay, well, since you guys can't figure it out, the decision's not going to come down to the winners. It's going to come down to the people that are in elimination this time around. So Casey and Troy decide to pick who they want to go against. Now, finally, we get to something I can enjoy. Something I can't wait one day to touch those walls. It is a hall brawl, you guys. It is a iconic hall brawl competition, okay? Troy and Casey decide to pick Emily and Yes because they're kind of like, they've been going at it. They're the same country. They've been going back and forth at it. I love Danny's commentary, sidebar. You know, I love Danny. I love Danny's commentary about talking about what to do when it comes to a hall brawl, how to really, you know, get low and make sure you drop it down low, speed it around, and drop it to the floor now. Okay, Christine
Pop that
Milian.
thing.
Okay, pop
I was
that thing. Okay,
pop, pop,
so,
pop that thing.
right. So I love that he was giving that commentary during that moment. And first round it is Troy, and yes, I was pretty shocked to see Yes kind of get run over by Troy. Pretty shocked because he's a bigger guy. He got more weight, but I think Troy got lower. Then it comes down to Casey and Emily. I'm like, whoa, this is going to be good because Casey does, NFL, and she's really a tough girl. And then Emily's a Olympian, so this is going to be good. These girls start going at it. Emily wins the first round, which I was like so happy, so proud of her. It comes down, TJ flips a coin because now we have a tie. It comes down to the women. Casey and Emily have to go at it again. At first, it was like I think Casey really showed up. That those football skills definitely kicked in. And Emily, I thought she was going to have her, by pulling her foot, but she didn't have enough grip. And of course, sadly, and like I said, they both did great. And I can't take that from them. Casey and Troy win, so they'll be going to the finale with everyone else. Emily breaks down. This breakdown, I really felt it. I can't imagine, getting that close and working so hard and doing all this stuff and you lose, especially her being an athlete. They're built different. So it was hard to hear, but that's the challenge, everyone. What's your thoughts? Who do you guys think is going to win? I think we have the finale coming up next week, or what do you guys think?
I was going to say, how do you feel about, like Danny and Tori never being in elimination, and also, did they win a daily? They didn't win a daily
No,
either, right?
no.
How do we feel? Do you feel like they've earned their spot into the final, or do you feel like maybe they should have gone in, or
Well,
they at least should have won something?
I mean, if in the words of Tori, if you don't throw yourself in an elimination, are you really deserve to be in that final?
I mean, I personally love watching people play the social game. I don't think comps are everything. But I mean, this season really was just about friendship. Like, oh, I vacation with you. I spent Thanksgiving at your house. I do this with you outside of the game. Therefore, I'm going to keep you safe. So that's like there's a difference between a social game and a friendship game. Tori was playing a friendship oriented game. Danny was actually trying to get in there, make deals, work with the people who he felt could get him further, eliminate the people who he felt were stronger competitors than him. So loved watching Danny play this season. Tori, not so much. It was recycled. Her whole MO was recycled, and that's that. I feel like Kaz and Jordan are gonna win because anytime if you let Jordan get to the end, he's going to win. And they're
The
now at the
final,
end.
yeah.
So I think Jordan's gonna win. And Kaz is a good competitor too. She won the Challenge UK. Let's not overlook her.
Period.
So I think it's gonna be Kaz and Jordan.
I agree with everything you said, Hannah. And Breydon, that was a great question. I think that anyone that makes it to the end, you deserve to get there. I hate the whole,
Period.
you got to win stuff or you got to throw yourself in or all this type of stuff. I mean, no one ever should throw themselves in, but Tori came up
Yeah.
with that logic last week about throwing themselves in and that bullshit. But other than that, I definitely agree that, going into this, any competition shows, however you make it to the end, respect that because you can't just you had to do something, you had to talk to somebody, you had to do anything, you had to be in the right place at the right time. Like there's a lot that goes into it. So I think who's going to win this overall, I will say this: Tori and Danny are a very strong team. I definitely can see them maybe
I
winning
agree.
this. Same thing with Casey and Troy. I don't see Cass and Jordan because I will say this, and of course there's nothing against it. I know Jordan's ego is going to hurt Cass in that final, and how he acts when it comes to a final is going to break her, and she might not be able to keep up with how he is. Even though he makes mistakes, which we saw that a couple weeks ago. And then who's left? I'm sorry, who's the last team that's left?
Sarah and Theo.
Sarah and Theo. That's a good team too, but I don't really know how their dynamic is. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. These dynamics are weird. We're not really seeing how dynamics really build. Like I remember the challenge when people were partners. you could really see their dynamic. So that's
Yeah.
my thoughts on the challenge. Until tomorrow, we'll see what happens, and I bet you it's going to probably be a 2-part episode because they love dragging this shit out when we don't need to see these friendships anymore. We're over it. But yeah, that's my thoughts. So, any thoughts on the challenge, guys?
Nope. I need the season to come to
it'll
a close.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out in the end.
Thank you so much for joining us. I want to know, what have you been up to? What's new for you? What's next for you? What are you working on? Because you look great.
Oh.
You're losing a lot of weight. You know, I heard you're dating somebody. Are you dating someone?
Oh, wow. How does it feel to be a full-blown liar?
I have a bachelor's degree in it.
Clearly, I said, "Oh, I am dating someone who. Let me know." No,
I was gonna be like, how could you not tell me?
Could you imagine? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually engaged. I'm getting married tomorrow.
my God.
I'd be like,
crazy. Sorry, I didn't tell you guys.
we have
I'm
plans
like,
this
got
week.
lost in the mail. That's crazy. But no, I've just been kind of, laying low. I've been working out. I mean, you've really influenced me, Mr. Derek Fraser, in the gym, hitting it.
Girl, I have been in the gym in a month, okay? I'm struggling over here. I'm looking like Humpty Dumpty.
I mean, I see you working on your fitness, and he's the witness, okay?
I'm only working out so I could post it on Instagram and try to show the challenge producers that I want to be on the challenge. And that's how I network, by posting my workout videos like everyone else.
Honestly, catch me doing it too at this point. I've just been chilling. I think I want to, work on some stuff coming up and kind of, explore some other options. I can't be a brainiac like Miss Hannah Chada at the end, and I can't be a challenge girly like you're gonna be. So we'll see what happens.
I think you are a brainiac, and I think you can be a challenge girly. So keep posting those workout videos.
Keep networking. Don't forget, you got to travel. Everybody in the social world, every person, not just one person, everybody travels and networks. So you got to go from LA to Florida to here to Washington.
Got you. I gotta have my travel bug, is what you're saying.
Yes, you got to be a travel bug, and you got to work out all the time. You got to post it all the time so they can see your fitness. Okay.
Okay. Well, if you see my Instagram totally change up and I turn into a fitness influencer, and I'm drinking protein shakes, and I'm sponsored by Alani Fitness, and I'm going to the gym, doing group workouts. You know what my intention is. So, and if I see you guys there,
yeah, let me tell you, you will see me there. I am training every day for it.
Not me. I am done with reality television. My career is over.
I'm only waiting for 3 things, and that's the Trader.
Only 3 things.
Yes, there's plenty of shows for me to do, but those are the things that. I'm waiting for 4 things. I lied. I'm waiting for RuPaul Drag Race to be a guest judge. I'm waiting for the challenge. I am waiting for the Traders, and I'm waiting for Big Brother All Stars. So those are the 4 I'm waiting for. Probably won't get a call for any of them, but I'll be delusional and still wait for them. So thank you.
Okay, well, I'll be praying for you. Breydon, thank you so much for joining us. Happy birthday. I'm going to see you tomorrow. So I'm so really excited. You and I have not been in the same room in like 11 months. So I have been talking about this all day, every day for weeks. I'm so excited.
Honestly, Big D, pull up.
Yeah, well, Big D's scared of planes.
Twice, because I'm about that life. But yes, I don't do the flying life. Okay, listen, they trying to get me. They trying to do stuff in the future and trying to get me back on the plane. And I'm having anxiety.
Okay,
about
wait.
it.
But side note, Big D, how you gonna go on a challenge if you don't want to go on a plane?
I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna pray to this cross of mine that God is not gonna kill me on this plane. He's gonna let me get there
taking a boat
so I
to
can
South
have my
Africa.
Can you imagine if I got a chance to go to the challenge and the plane crash after all that shit? I would say God does not want me to do the challenge. That's the only reason. I'll be like, God, that was it. That was it. I had my moment.
If your plane crashed, I don't think those would be your thoughts.
You must don't know. Before I go on planes, I always do videos. of myself talking before, so I leave it for you guys. Kind of like a 13 Reasons Why type of thing, so that you guys could know why I'm probably mad at you or I love you. So I leave little hints for you guys, so you
Wow.
always have a
So
piece of
best
Big
be
D for the rest
best
of
be
your
on his
life.
best behavior, on his best side before any type of trouble. You just send him a cute little message.
What?
Big D, I hope you know that I love you so much and that you mean so much
Yes.
to me. And he said,
Uh huh.
okay.
I
This one's
leave
for Hannah
videos.
Chada.
Yep, I do. I literally leave videos. I make before I
Oh
get on the
my
plane. I
god.
leave a little video. Oh my god, I have like videos made for like Adam and Lauren, everybody ready to go, so they
That's so
know
morbid.
if I die where this is and how I feel. And y'all better make sure you carry this on. Make sure you keep my legacy.
That is
Everything. I don't
so
play no games.
morbid. Oh
I
my.
know. Thank you. Only my
Well,
crazy ass would. Now, Brandon, where can everyone follow you, stalk you, date
Stalk
you?
me. I
You
mean,
know.
listen, I'm always taking boyfriend applications, so send them my way. But you can follow me on Instagram at Breydon White. And then on Twitter, I'm at Breydon BBCan 9. And TikTok too, Breydon White. On most platforms, Breydon White. So just hit me up, you'll find me. And we can kiki together and have a cute little fun time. But thank you both so much for having me. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to let me be on your podcast. And congrats on all the success that the royalty has been having. You guys deserve it. And I'm so sad that, Tiffany can't be here so I could also tell her how proud I am of all of you. You guys truly are inspirations to all of us. And I hope you guys know
oh,
that what you guys do is amazing and you guys are so great at it. So thank you for sharing your gifts with all of us.
Thank you, Braden. And we love you so much. And yes, shout out to Tiffany. We are missing Tiffany so much, but we know she's doing
Period.
absolutely
She's dipping
fabulous.
and doing it.
Yeah,
So
she's
as she
doing the
does.
thing because when she come back, I have a lot of work for her to do. I'm not playing with her. This is a lot of work for this podcast. So me and Hannah are doing to keep this going. So trust me, Big D will be taking a lot of breaks of not talking and when Tiffany comes back on these damn podcasts. But Braden, thank you so much for joining us. Hannah, I love you so much. I hope you're feeling much better. You sound a little bit better, maybe because we brought you a little bit of laughter in your life. I know
I
you
think
love you
so
some
too.
Big D and Braden in your life.
Yes.
Um, and I just want to also say happy birthday to you, Braden. I'm so
Oh,
glad
thank
that you
you.
are going to have a good time, you and Hannah. And to remember to like and subscribe.
Yes. Like,
Period,
subscribe,
bestie.
comment. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Brayden. Thank you, Big D. I love you both. And this was the Royal Tea. Bye, everyone.
I have one more thing. I
Okay.
heard you
Okay.
say this in the beginning of the podcast, and I'm going to call you out on it, Hannah. You said Braden was your favorite person on this earth.
Yeah.
And you said
Yeah.
that to me before, so I'm calling you out. Now, what is
Gag
it?
them
We're
a
both
bit
here.
for
What is
sure.
it? Who's your
I
favorite
go
person
through
on this earth?
phases. I go through phases.
What do you
I
What do you think
support.
this is like, motherfucking? What do you think this is like? The multiverse? You think this is like the Avengers and shit? Like, what do you think this is? There's no phases.
The
This ain't
the
phase one,
Avengers.
phase two, phase three. Like, I don't know what you think this is.
Oh my god, it's Harry Potter. Wait, in honor of Harry Potter, can you give us a little abracadabra?
Ah!
Thanks, guys. This was the Royalty. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in.